You are a multi-dimensional being, and ultimately, you are an experiment. So, we have been, uh, I would say, embodied, but not embodied, that's the wrong word, um, imbued with a spirit. That spirit, our soul, is of another dimension. You are a magnificent light being that has an extreme amount of love and power to create reality. And you have come down and are using this body. You are not this body. You are using this body. This body is your tool to experience Earth. And the experiment of this life is to see what happens when you add divinity to an animal down here on Earth. So when you add consciousness and awareness to the animal here on Earth, and the human animal in particular, there are plenty of other animals. They all have a consciousness, but the humans have a different level of it. And the experiment is give them free will and see what happens. Well, you can see that humanity is making a mess of the situation down here, but you have the power to change that because ultimately you are a fractal of the one creator of all things and all beings. And all you have to do is remember that the the power that humanity has to shift and create literally anything is is ultimate on this plane. And free will is the ultimate law. But there are powers that be that want to manipulate the free will. So what you have is a lot of information being thrown out, and then you get to intake this information and decide what to believe. But what you decide what to believe will dictate what is created because that's the power of humanity. So it gets a little tricky because you have personal power and then you have collective power. The personal power and the personal ability to create is just you in your own life. But the collective consciousness of humanity has, um, collective power and it's exponential. So we're at a point where we want to have more people waking up and knowing that they have this power and taking control of the helm of their ship being their body, and creating with intent and with the soul's calling, the soul's desire, and not just following the herd, basically. And right now on the planet, it's mostly herd. It's mostly that herd mentality, and people are not awake and aware and thinking for themselves. They're just, they're taking the input and they're allowing the input to inform the body instead of the soul informing the body. Does that make sense? We use our body to experience life on this planet. That's the whole idea. So, embodiment, which is a word that people use a lot, is basically gathering wisdom. So, your feelings are part of this body, but those feelings are something that your soul wants to experience. And when you allow the depth of the feeling to overcome the body and you understand what it is, even if it's a negative feeling, then you will transmute that into wisdom. Eventually, the negative feeling won't feel negative anymore. You'll have felt it and you'll understand it, and that becomes soul wisdom. If you have a negative feeling and you're avoiding it, right? Let's just say, You are sad and you don't want to feel sad. So you just stuff it down and you don't feel it. You don't allow yourself to cry. You don't allow yourself to feel that because you're supposed to be happy. And so you force this happiness and you don't allow your soul to feel the depth of sadness. Your soul will keep asking for sadness because it wants to know what that feels like. And unless you allow it, the feeling, the deep expression of sadness, it will keep showing up in your experience because you haven't allowed your soul to gather the wisdom. Okay. It's really that simple. So the best thing to do is to turn off external input, right? The news, the radio, the TV shows, the podcast, everything. Just turn it all off and just listen to yourself. Eventually, what's going to happen is your ruminating thoughts will die down and you will hear your soul speak. And you're going to know because it's a very different feeling. You're going to know that it's your soul by the feeling of it. And then follow that guidance because that's what your soul wants to know. And you actually are your soul. You are not this body. This body is something that you are using. It's like your mech. It's like your VR machine. It's like Avatar, literally, because you are this magnificent divine light being, which I have had the pleasure of seeing. And wow, I can just say, wow, it's mind blowing. We are mind blowingly beautiful. And we are here participating in this crazy experiment in this VR suit. And just remember that. Don't let your body be in control of your life. And don't hate on your body. Love your body. It's how you're here experiencing the nature of this realm. Anyway, that's my tidbit for today, and I will see you guys later. Let me know what you think about this information, if it's radical to you or if you agree with me. I'd love to hear your questions, your comments, and please like and subscribe to this channel. It will help me. I am trying to get to a higher number of subscribers. Let's open this conversation, and I will talk to you later.